Welcome to New Life Live with host and founder of New Life Ministries, Stephen Arterburn. New Life Live is dedicated to transforming lives one at a time, thanks to the giving hearts of you, our listeners. Our goal is to provide you with wisdom from God's Word to give you hope and help in life's hardest places. If you have a question you'd like to ask today, our phone lines are open. Call 1-800-229-3000. That number again is 1-800-229-3000. Now here's Steve.
Welcome to New Life Live. Dr. Jill Hubbard and Milan Yerkovich are in the studio, but I have a brand new friend on the line, and his name is Sam Hodges. Sam, you may not recognize the name of the organization he's president of. It's called Church Initiative. But if I say divorce care or grief share, you're probably quite familiar with it. Sam, welcome to New Life Live. I'm so glad you're with us today. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Steve. It's good to be here. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Well, you're welcome. And as you know, when my previous wife divorced me, of course, it wasn't my fault. I'm just kidding. When she divorced, I went to Saddleback Church. I went to divorce care. And it really was so helpful. And I wanted you to come on, and I wanted you to tell people from your perspective. I didn't know anybody with divorce care or grief share, but I want people to know about you guys if they don't. You're in so many churches around the country, but what is it that you love the most about divorce care and or grief share?
Yeah, well, I think it's just really the opportunity to help people who are hurting with Christ-centered love and truth and comfort. Mm-hmm. And then just to be able to see so many of those people go from the place where they're in pain and they receive comfort, but then they're able to give it back to other people. And so it's just amazing to be able to help so many people who are asking so many difficult questions, after the death of a loved one or after a divorce. People are asking questions, after a divorce, does anyone love me?
Yeah.
How do I forgive? How do I deal with anger? And so, we're able to come alongside these people and just provide resources for them to help them to answer those questions and really keep them from making a lot of bad decisions. Because as you well know, when people are in pain, a lot of times they reach for the wrong things to comfort themselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so divorce care and grief share step in, introduce people to a lot of biblical, again, Christ-centered wisdom, and, just help people understand that there's hope, and also help people understand that what they're going through is normal, because that's another big thing that we hear. People don't think that what they're experiencing is normal.
Well, what you helped me with was just to deal with two big emotions I had. One was shame, and the other was fear, and it was a safe place to have those. You might be interested to know that one of our board members is such a fan of divorce care. Why? Well, he and his wife got a divorce, went to divorce care, and then worked through many things, and they remarried, and they have an amazing family and marriage. And I think it's because of you guys. Tell us about grief share. This is for people who have lost a loved one, right?
Right, yeah. Grief share and divorce care, they're similar programs in terms of the way they're set up. But basically, a church can purchase a grief share kit from us or divorce care kit, and it gives them everything they need really to launch a divorce recovery group or grief support group in their churches. And so, we provide coaching, free support to your leaders. And when you put on a grief share group or divorce care group, participants are going to come, they're going to watch a 30-minute video, and they're going to hear from top Christian experts in divorce or grief recovery, but they're also going to hear from people just like them, people who've worked through these issues, people who've, wrestled with the questions and found hope in Christ. And so that's how a divorce care grief share group is structured. It's designed to go about 13.
We'll be right back.
it had become very apparent that some of the things I was involved with were taking over my life.
In today's world, men are barraged with inappropriate content and images all day, every day. Some say that certain behaviors are just no big deal. It's just part of being a guy. But it's simply not true. It's a battleground for every man, and the opportunities to fail are everywhere. New Life's Every Man's Battle Workshop can help.
After 7 years, just one weekend, I completely changed man.
For over 20 years, New Life Ministries has been helping men regain their integrity and purity through their one-of-a-kind Every Man's Battle Workshop.
He said, I think this is something that every man should go to. Married, dating, it was definitely life-changing.
Now the workshop is coming to Columbus, Ohio, April 8th to the 10th. Don't wait for him to call. To find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. I just want to finish up with Sam Hodges, and he is the president over both the Grief Share and Divorce Care Ministries.
Well, and can I chime in?
Sure, Jill,
Steve,
go ahead.
Before Sam jumps in, I just want to say that divorce care was a part of my recovery in going through divorce. And I think, in addition, Steve, to the emotions you shared, it's just how do you process this intense loss? Mm-hmm. So whether it's through the divorce or also with Grief Share, it's such an intense, overwhelming loss that changes your life forever. And so having a place to go and identify with others and process that was really, really helpful. Yeah.
Sam, we're all fans over here. We're grateful for what you've done and you are doing. If somebody is interested, maybe they've heard first time, what do they do? What could they do to get involved in a group?
Visit divorcecare.org or griefshare.org. Divorcecare.org or griefshare.org. You can find out how to start a group or how to find a group to participate in one at those websites.
Awesome. Well, Sam, thank you so much for joining us, and hope to have you back and we can talk more about a ministry that is a redemptive ministry. And I hope and pray that if you've never been, but you've been through divorce, that you'll call, or you've lost a loved one and you really want some help with that grieving process. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. All right, let's, how about we go to Sandy from Modesto, California. Hi, Sandy. How are you today?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Doing okay. What's going on in your life?
Well, I have been married for this year will be 39 years, and after about 17 years of marriage, my husband had an affair, and we went through some counseling at that point, but I really didn't see any true remorse or any repentance in him. He kept looking still at other women in front of me. There was just a lot of warning signs that would come up. Men would send him emails, men from work, emails with porn on them. And then last year, I saw porn again on his phone, and I caught him masturbating. And throughout all our years, he would say, "I'm sorry," and then things would just go on. I would just let it go, and things would go on as usual in our marriage. But then 2 weeks ago, actually today, we went to Bible study together, and when we came home, he would sit on his phone and look at social media, and I leaned over and looked, and he always would sit where I couldn't see his screen, and he's looking at porn, sitting right next to me on the sofa. So
how did that make you feel
it.
When that happened? How did that make you feel?
I was very angry. I was very angry about it, and he said he wasn't looking at it, that comes up on his screen, but he just scrolls past it. So that night I had trouble sleeping, and when his alarm went off in the morning, I I asked him for his phone. He gave me his phone, and I went on to that social media site that he spends a lot of time on, and it was porn after porn after porn, 10 different women in a row every time I swiped. And so he knew he was caught. He just looks at me with a blank expression, and I told him, you need to get help for this. And I was so upset, and I thought, if I keep doing the same thing, just accepting his apology, and I don't see any true remorse, I don't see any repentance in him, things just continue as they have been for almost 39 years.
So what did you do?
So I went to my girlfriend's house for 3 nights. Didn't sleep there either. She was very, very gracious.
Okay, but tell us where things are now. What have you?
I'm back home. I'm sleeping in my guest room, and my girlfriend gave me the book Every Man's Battle. Told me, give this to your husband. I put it on his pillow. I see him reading it, but he's not talking to me in the house. It's very awkward. I'm in my guest room. He's in the bedroom. I'm no longer cooking for him. And I've seen that he's lost weight. He's telling my daughter that he's getting a lot out of this book. And he's told my daughter that he spoke with one of the pastors one time at church. But he's not telling me this. So he gets up and goes to work.
All right. What could we do to help you?
I don't know what to do. I've been careful to keep my mouth quiet, and I'm waiting on the Lord to intervene, but my husband is very stubborn, and so I don't know how long I wait. I'm afraid that if I just keep waiting on the Lord with my husband being so stubborn, that he's just going to say it's too hard to confess everything he's done that the book tells him to do, and he's going to leave.
Okay, hold on. Waiting on the Lord. The Lord is not going to change your husband. Is that what you're waiting on, for the Lord to change him?
Yeah.
No, it's not going to.
But I know my husband has to want it.
Well, your husband doesn't want it. He was caught. He had no excuse he could use. And so it seems like he's done some placating and some minimal things.
He's very sneaky, yeah.
Yeah, so
let's
hear from Milan and Jill.
Wait,
but
Jill, you put the
you.
book on his pillow, and supposedly he's reading it. So I'm wondering if you could print out Every Man's Battle workshop, with kind of next step at the top, and put that on his pillow. Wonder if he'll get the hint.
I did tell him when I came back after the 3 days of being at my friend's that I wanted him to go to that workshop and that he could get a scholarship, and I want him to go. And he just looks at me with a blank expression on his face and doesn't say anything.
Okay. If he's going to work, he doesn't need a scholarship. And I can't imagine he does. You're trying to make things too easy for him. Waiting on the Lord is code for I'm too afraid to leave.
I don't even have a job.
I know. And you're afraid to leave. The reason that you keep letting him do what he's doing and you're not putting any firm foundations down as to boundaries or saying, I'm sorry, I won't be treated like this anymore.
Right.
And walking out the door there is a fear factor that is going on.
Right.
That is your enemy. That is what you have to conquer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to guess that you have, Sandy, that fear has been a part of your life for a long time.
It has.
Is that true? Yeah.
So
in my marriage, it has.
Yes. And I empathize with that. I really do. But that's why I'm speaking to it. Because your husband may never change, but Sandy has to decide what she wants to require of other people to have relationship with Sandy.
And Sandy, we've said this here many times. It's tragic if somebody's waiting for God to do what God is waiting for them to do.
Right.
And God's not going to do it for you.
Now, I'm sorry, Steve, I cut you off.
No, good. Keep going.
Just in California, Sandy and Modesto, if you file for divorce, it's a 50-50 state. You don't have to have a job in order
It's
to
actually better if you don't have a job.
Okay.
Because they will assign you a wage that they think you're capable of earning based on your previous work history.
Right.
But in terms of getting support from him in this long-term marriage, if you go out and get a job real quick, then that lessens what he will give you.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, Jill, I love that. And that's really
Absolutely
important
true.
because
My husband.
Sandy, if you don't have, your husband has nothing to do with this right now. If you don't have a strategy for combating evil, it will continue to monopolize your life.
Right.
You need a lawyer. You
Well,
need
but
a counselor.
you need friends
and
around
friends.
you. You need family, friends, a therapist, people, because when you're afraid, it's really easy to just fall back into the pattern. And look, he just gives you that blank stare, right? And then
Right.
you go back into submission.
And he tells
Right.
you,
So-
kids, whatever, I'm
Right.
reading this book. It's really wonderful. In other words, this is all I need to do is read a book.
But nothing's changing at
Okay,
home.
so
Right.
I would ask him, are you willing to go to every man's battle? This is what I need from you. And if he says no, or if he doesn't, then you ask him to leave.
Here's how I would say it. I asked you about what you were doing on your phone. And over again, you lied and you sat here looking at pornography with me here. I think if you have any interest in me or the future of this marriage, I think the least you could do is go to a workshop that lasts 48 hours. That's it. That's the least you could do. Are you willing to do the least you could do? Because reading a book or keeping this to yourself is not doing anything because you need help.
Right.
You're beyond the read the book and get better stage.
And why is Sandy in
Right.
the guest bedroom? See, why isn't he has everything in his closet thrown out onto the floor and a lock has just been installed in your master bedroom? See, Sandy is used to taking the bottom position in the relationship out of fear. And
Well,
this is what
Right.
Sandy needs to work on.
Yeah. Let me send you Jill's book, The Secrets Women Keep, and I'll also send you Take Your Life Back, because it's all about what owns you and no longer allowing that to own you anymore. And we love to see people stop being owned. Well, let's go to Angie, Lady Lake, Florida, and she watches us on YouTube. Angie, how you doing?
Hi, thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
First, I just want to say thank you for the scholarship to go to the Emotional Freedom workshop. It was amazing.
Was
And
it?
Becky Brown followed up with me. Yeah, it really was. It was something. I sit back and look at these ladies talking, and I see myself in every single one of them. The nice thing was, too, for me, I didn't have to say a whole lot because I listened to myself and these ladies. But it was really amazing. And at the end, when we took communion, when Larry started the communion, that just blessed my heart. You and Jackie Mack and Chris, it was amazing. And Becky had said, these are things that you're going to go forward because it's deep stuff. It really is deep stuff. And I'm doing the work little by little. I'm wearing my Restorative Bible right off, or my Restoration Bible. But
Awesome.
anyway, I wanted to tell you that. I'm so thankful. And if anybody's on the fence, just do it. Do it. You won't
Thank you for
regret
that.
it. It'll change your life.
Well,
It'll change your life.
how could we help you
Go
today?
ahead. My
Yeah.
sister is in a homosexual relationship, and we are getting ready for the first time to be all together after 30 years. My dad was a raging alcoholic, and blah, blah. We didn't have, in our adult years, a relationship. So through this cancer surgery he's a changing man. So my question is, what should the sleeping arrangements be? She's been with this gal forever. I'm in recovery from this particular situation as a young girl, but that has changed. So I don't know how to approach that or what to do, because that's going to be a big snafu with my dad and myself. What should I do?
All right, we'll give you some help right after this. I'm glad you called us. It's such growing more common all the time that people are stuck in this dilemma. And again, we always talk about people want to be accepted, but they don't accept you. You need to be accepted too. We'll be back. Hi, this is Steve Arterburn from New Life Live, and Chris Williams and I are doing the Emotional Freedom Workshop. I don't know of anybody that wouldn't benefit from emotional freedom. We're all bound or stuck or struggling in some area. What are we going to do there, Chris?
Just really help people get clarity around the places where they're stuck in their life. They sort of circle the same mountain of disappointment over and over and over again. You're going to be able to see that mountain clearly and get to a new place of what we call emotional freedom, which is simply, I can feel in the world, build a relationship to it, and know what to do with my experiences.
The New Life Emotional Freedom Online Workshop is Saturday, April 30th. Steve Arterburn, Chris Williams, and Dr. Jackie Mack-Harris will present information on trauma, depression, codependency, and more. And small group leaders will help you process the information you learn. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433 or register online at newlife.com.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I turned on New Life, and the topic that day was about anxiety. And just by listening, I got relief.
You can help New Life stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of the Life Recovery Bible personal size, the 1-year Life Recovery Prayer Devotional, the New Life Journal, a New Life pen and highlighter, and a New Life zipper tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back. Steve Arterburn here. And Angie, I'm going to start with Jill, then Milan here. But is this getting together, are they going to be sleeping at your house or your dad's house, or what's that all about?
Well, there's the thing.
There's the thing.
They had stayed at my dad's house. Yeah, there's the thing. They had stayed at my dad's house. I just moved to Florida here to help my dad out. So they have never stayed at my home. My sister has. But Tammy's never, I said her name. Anyway, so there's the thing, Dad's like, how am I going to handle this? And then my husband's like, what are we going to do? And I said, well, I'm going to call my counselors. So here I am. We don't know where it's going to be assumed, I think, that they're going to stay with Dad, but then because of the riffraff, I think it may be assumed that they stay here, and I just don't know what to do about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and Angie, they have been to your dad's house previously and stayed, is what you're saying. So what was the situation then? How was it handled then?
He let them stay in the same room, and then he was so mad at himself, and he doesn't want that, and they got in a big fight over it, but it would seem like she would respect his decision, but it's just assumed that, okay, our little row's over, and then we're just going to get back to normal when he's telling me, I don't want this, but for some reason, he wanted the relationship more than the fight.
Well, right. And there are, hills to die on. And you're saying that they have been together for 30 years?
No, my family, my dad and I haven't spoken 30 years. So this is the first time we will all be together in 30 years.
But your sister has been in this relationship a long time. Is that correct? Or
for about 12 years. Yeah, for about 12 years.
Okay. Well, Steve, I like what you say, because I think we never think about it in that direction, that it's all about understanding them, but it's not about understanding that there are differences on both sides. And so how do we deal with our differences? And I think, being in a relationship is a good thing, because you don't want to just cut people off and say, because you're different or because you're not walking in your Christian faith the way I think you ought to, then I'm cutting you out, right? And then we lose the opportunity of showing Christian love. At the same time, we have our standards, and that's part of what sets us apart. And so I might have a conversation with my sister ahead of time and just say, we love you, we want to embrace you, but we do have some differences in how we look at this situation. Why don't you and your partner stay at a hotel? Why not have them not stay in your homes? Like, why is it just assumed that they are going to come and stay with you?
And why not tell her, Dad's really struggling with this, and he wants a relationship with you, but it seems like he's struggling, and he doesn't think it's right to have somebody sleep in his home that they're not married,
right?
And they're not men and women that are married. That's his standard, and I hope you could accept that, because he loves you. He doesn't have to change his mind about homosexuality to love you.
To love you and to, befriend your friend.
Yeah.
I mean, he wants to have a relationship, but this is where it's just difficult.
Yeah.
For us.
So maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody else in the family, but I wouldn't feel badly about they created the problem by not avoiding the conflict after 30 years. They could have said, we're just going to stay down Days Inn, that's where we're going to be. But they're pushing this, or they wouldn't be wanting to stay together, because they know he's an old-fashioned guy with conservative Christian values, and they don't care. Milan, do you have a comment here before we go?
Well, Angie, you are using a lot of assumptions here, because you really don't know what specifically the plan is. And you're thinking, well, what if here and what if there? And if that happens, then this happens. And that's a horrible place of ambiguity, and it's a challenge. Jill had the great recommendation. Call your sister and say, sis, what are your plans? And find out what that is. And then don't be afraid to represent yourself and just say, look, we haven't been together for 30 years. All together, let's do everything we can to make this as non-inflammatory as possible. I guarantee you, and I haven't asked you but I'm going to just guarantee you, we haven't talked for 30 years for some inflammatory reason. There was something that went on 30 years ago that, we haven't talked. Now, I love that you're getting together. Secondly, I want to make a point that Jill was talking about, which is the entire LGBTQ plus movement takes a position that anybody who disagrees with us is either a phobe, which means they're fearful, or they're a hater. And so I don't let anybody buttonhole me into a category. And I'm not a phobe, I'm not a hater, I'm just a disagreeer. And sadly, a lot of people, including that movement, but a lot of people from a lot of other movements, think that if you disagree with them, there's something wrong with you. Yet, being an individual and being differentiated and celebrating that I'm different than you, I can accept you're different from me, and I can love you anyhow. is something that is not commonly discussed anywhere except right here on New Life Live.
So
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again.
You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
All right, we are back. Steve Arterburn here with Milan Yerkovich, Dr. Jill Hubbard, having some heated conversations here. And it's all because Larry Sonnenberg is in the studio. Larry, how you doing today, and what do you have for us?
I'm doing really good, Steve. Want to just repeat what we've been talking about a lot lately. That is our not every man's battle. That's always, it's lose it for life. Lose it for life. We're kind of resurfacing that and making it better. And I want to read to you what a lady said who went to lose it for life not that long ago. All my years and years of dieting and losing and gaining and losing and gaining has made me depressed, hopeless, and wanting to give up trying. Nothing lasted due to my uncontrolled behavior. But this workshop has been life-changing. I feel empowered to move forward and live free from guilt and the love of God within me, behind me and before me. I'm leaving with tools and God's grace and a desire to start a small group at church. Anyone who's struggling with their weight must go to this workshop. All you really need is offered at this wonderful Lose It for Life workshop.
Amen.
I mean, life-changing. That doesn't get any better than that. And New Life doesn't change lives. The Holy Spirit changed lives when they take the steps they need to take, and then we're trying to help them do that.
Well, we've said it before. If the JC you're depending on is Jenny Craig versus Jesus Christ, then we can help you put at the heart of all of this Jesus, because there is something so fantastic about us not just stopping some food that's problematic or counting calories, but starting a new depth in our spiritual life and our relationship with God.
You know, that changing the way that people think that we're trying to get across is to not focus on the symptoms, but to focus on what's behind it and why you are going to things that cause those symptoms.
Right.
And so once people get that, life is different. So please, please support New Life along the way.
If you are tired of managing symptoms, we can help you with this. And it's just a simple plan, but it's supported by people that love you and care about you. So call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And if you can get somebody a scholarship for this, if you can do that, please call us, a gift of any amount, and we'll send you Dr. Daniel Amen's the Conquer Worry and Anxiety book. Larry, anything else you want to share?
If you have not supported New Life financially, I want to challenge you to pick up the phone and call 800-NEW-LIFE and ask whoever answers the phone to tell you about what Club New Life is and the benefits and how it is helpful to not just us at New Life. It's the first domino that falls that causes people to take steps and actions in life to change. But Club New Life monthly giving program, we really need your help with that. So thank you.
We sure do. And grateful for all of you who support us. Thank you so much. And thank you, Larry, for all you do. Your dedication to New Life is just phenomenal. 1-800-NEW-LIFE. If you can help us, it is the same number if we can help you. But please help us if you possibly can. I'm going to go to Mark now. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, WFIL. Mark, how are you? What's on your mind today?
Hey, good afternoon. Actually, right now I'm in Toma, Wisconsin. I drive for a living, but I was listening to the beginning of the show where people were talking about emotions and how they handle things.
Yeah.
I grew up in a very large family, one of 14. Mom and Dad were always there, but Mom was strict German, and my dad just, he was pretty strict himself. So I grew up with nobody to talk to. And I was scared in the fact that when another man said something to me, I always thought it meant a fight. Well, I'm in my early 60s now. For the last 10, 12 years, I've looked at things completely different.
Yeah.
I tend to speak my mind. I used to be very depressed. When I first got sober in 85, I couldn't work for 3 years. Depression and anxiety was so bad. At times I would have to leave all my stuff in the store and just walk out. But my emotions are so different now.
Well, tell us how we could help you, because, or maybe you could give us some insight, because you've made some great moves in your life that a lot of people, they wish they had done that, or they need to.
Yeah. And at times I wonder why people haven't, but I speak my mind. I take things personal a lot because I'm very sensitive. I had a great loss in my life. My daughter, they say, took her own life about 6.5 years ago.
Oh, my goodness.
And, I decided, hey, I can't, they wanted to fly me home, this and that. And I just refused to let that, with lack of a better word, kill me, it's a big hole in my heart. I relapsed when she was about 4 or 5 years old. She was so easy to raise. And the hurt that's on my heart is that I blame myself for this. When I think about it, I am not emotional over it every day, but she's always on my mind. And
well, I don't know why you called, but I wanted to say this: hearing you and your sadness over this, we have a new workshop, and I'm gonna just give it to you because I'd love for you. I think it would really help you. And it is our workshop, Transforming Grief. And it's May the 7th. And so you're not going to have to pay for that because I want to help you. I think you'll really enjoy it. I think it'll give you some great help in this process. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. I have a 94-year-old mother who has dementia. If we could pray for her. I'm not always around her, but she doesn't know it's her house anymore, and she thinks they moved the house in the street. I think it's cute, but I believe in a couple verses that I've always stood on, that come boldly before the throne of grace. And the last verse in the last book of John, where There are many miracles to which that I suppose Jesus did, but not even the whole books in the world could contain it. You know, and I believe God could at least partially heal this woman. You know, and the last, I really believe she's still around because she wants to see her son Mark. She had 13 other children to see her son Mark.
Well,
being okay, you know.
Well, let me just encourage you to continue to do what you can to make her life better. And I just hope and pray that you're going to join us for Emotional Freedom. It's online. You don't have to go anywhere to do it. And I thank you for the kind of work that you do, because it's people like you that, well, without you, we would not have the things that make life bearable or better, either one. So,
well, and Mark, you are a perseverer.
Yeah.
And so, yes, continue on and gather the support around you that you need.
And I'm going to send you Healing is a Choice. I hope that is a book that will help you. I really hope it does. All right, 1-800-NEW-LIFE or newlife.com if you want information you haven't heard. What you need to hear will help you there. Right now, let's go to Trudy. Well, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, WPGR is the station. Hi, Trudy. How are you today?
Oh, hi, I'm Nancy.
Okay, Nancy, how are you today? Sorry about that. Well, welcome to New Life Live.
Thank you. Hi, guys.
Hi.
I heard about avoidant personality, and I wondered if I had it, but I mostly just have a comment. And you guys can comment on my comment if you want.
Okay.
But I found that relationships are stressful and disappointing.
Yeah.
My first husband was a porn freak, porn addict, and my second husband was very violent. And so, you know, I've had boyfriends too, and that was disappointing.
Yeah.
But my girlfriends too, well, they moved on, or I moved. They got married or moved on, and I just really, I don't want to wait to be happy, or I just want to, I'm just joyful right now with the Lord. I never found anything more peaceful than having an intimate relationship with God. And I'm at great peace. And I'm not saying there's not hope. I did join a little community church down the street not too long ago. And I met a lady, and we sit together, and I asked her if she wanted to go for a walk, but she said her hip hurts, so she can't because her hip. But I don't know. I'm just happy.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go to a break. We have to go to a break, and you can think about a question that maybe we could answer here in that room.
I'm about 100 pounds overweight. I'm 30 years old, and I'm just really discouraged. I'm scared, and I don't want to fail again.
Does this sound like your story? It doesn't have to. If you want to live free of obsessions and compulsions in your eating habits, New Life's Lose It for Life Extensive can help. The Extensive features a one-day Zoom session presented by Steve Arterburn on Saturday, March 19th, plus 5 weeks of aftercare that include a weekly group session led by your credentialed New Life Network counselor, 5 on-demand training sessions from Steve Arterburn and fitness expert Michelle Spadafora, 3 30-minute private coaching sessions from a nutrition and fitness coach, the Lose It for Life book and workbook, and exercise gear to allow you to start a home fitness routine you'll actually enjoy. If you're finally ready to stop going from diet to diet and begin a comprehensive plan that addresses the psychological, emotional, and spiritual aspects of a healthy life, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go to newlife.com.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I turned on New Life, and the topic that day was about anxiety. And just by listening, I got relief.
You can help New Life stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the new member thank you gift of the Life Recovery Bible personal size, the 1-year Life Recovery Prayer Devotional, the New Life Journal, a New Life pen and highlighter, and a New Life zipper tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
We're back here at New Life. We are really all about the process of elimination. You try all this stuff, you eliminate all the options, and then let us help you. And we can help you. We've been doing it 38, how many years? I don't know. A lot of years, over 30. All right, so let's go to Kathy.
No, we were talking to Nancy.
I'm sorry, Nancy.
In Milwaukee.
In Milwaukee. Okay, Nancy, did you have...
In Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
did
in
you
Florida,
have
Nancy?
In Florida.
Okay, they got it all mixed up here.
So,
oh, boy, are we messed up.
We don't know your name, and we don't know where you are, but we do want to know your heart.
That's called total anonymity.
Can I just say something? Okay, can I speak to Nancy's issue? So, first of all, Nancy, you were asking about avoidant personality disorder. And people that have those tendencies are people that actually want relationship, but they feel highly anxious about relationship, as opposed to people who are more, an older term would be like schizoid, where they could kind of take it or leave it. They don't feel the absence of relationship. And I hear you saying your relationship with the Lord is good and the most satisfying, as it should be, Nancy. And that's wonderful that you glean that from it. Also, you said that relationships have been disappointing, and that is accurate, because relationships are disappointing, because they never totally fulfill us, because they're with imperfect people, right? Who all have their shortcomings. There are things they avoid, and difficulty in being truly intimate with one another. So someday, on the other side of eternity, this will all be healed. But right now, this is what we've got. And we are called to be in relationship at whatever level that we are able to be. And so sometimes it's not just about what, and I'm not saying you're saying this, but what relationship can do for me, and then, oh, they let me down. What do we give to relationship? And focusing on how can we be the best version of ourselves and take risks in reaching out. And you did that with that one woman. Okay, she can't walk. Maybe she'll drink coffee or tea. Maybe you could go for coffee or tea with her. Yeah. And you keep taking those risks, because we are called to do that, and we're called to be the light in this world and to be Jesus to people. And that's can be our mission field, is just the people around us. And it also gives us something to connect with others versus living a life of isolation.
So there you go again, Jill, making sense. And it really is important. And the headline from what you said is, so often we're disappointed that we're not getting from the relationship what we thought, versus seeing the relationship as an opportunity to give and find the results of being generous and giving in the relationship and the person responding to it. Now, sometimes they don't respond, but waiting for somebody to meet my needs, it's just never going to be a good strategy. Mm-hmm. So, Nancy, anything else that you want to say there?
Yeah, I found giving to my grandchildren is very joyful, and trying to help my daughter with stress, and she has 2 twins, and I make sure that I always send the packages to my other grandkids where they live in different states, and I give to the church some.
That is wonderful. I want you to hold on, because we are doing emotional freedom here in just a few weeks, and I'd like to scholarship you there, just saying thank you, expressing some gratitude to you for calling us and telling us about your situation today. Well, we are so grateful that we get to do this. We've been doing this for such a long time, and we love getting to talk with you. If you need some help, we have people that would like to talk with you besides us, and you call them at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Let me run down what we've got coming up that we think might help you. Lose It for Life Extensive. That's March 19th. That's all day Saturday. Then for 5 weeks, you get some individual sessions, some group sessions, live sessions, tape sessions, and it's all designed to help you create 5 weeks of a whole new way of living, eating, feeling. On April the 8th in Columbus, Ohio, Every Man's Battle. And there is where so many men become real men and are free. On April the 30th, Emotional Freedom. We thought we'd pick that date since many people will be depressed over filing their taxes April 15th. So April 30th, Emotional Freedom online. And then May the 7th, Transforming Grief on May 7th. Those are the things we have coming up, and we would love to have you part of any of those. And for a gift of any amount, we'll send you Conquering Worry and Anxiety. Larry was in, and I always appreciate the fact that he goes to these workshops. He sees people change. And Milan, you and Kay do such a great job at our marriage intensive. So just to put you on the spot, what do you think is maybe the attitude that creates the most breakthroughs, or what is the shift that you see in that weekend that causes those weekends to be so powerful?
Well, it is a massive surprise that the people encounter. It's the same surprise that I would even suspect as we were talking to the last gal we were talking, Nancy in Florida, that the surprise is I would guess that Nancy had a stressful family of origin and that relationships were disappointing there, and
there you
that
go.
she potentially idealized what future romance might look like. But I would suggest that stress started before she ever went into adult relationships. And that is the surprise, Steve, that everybody encounters. Oh, you mean my history helped to shape me so that I feel the way I do today with my spouse, and the conflict we're having and the reactivity we're having, that our marriage problems really started before we ever got married? And it's shocking to many people, but they resonate with it because all of a sudden a light goes on, dots connect, and they go, oh my gosh, I felt this way a lot before I even got married.
Well, I think that's a big headline.
It's
from
huge.
People.
It's surprise.
Just when you and Kay say your marriage problems started before you got married, it's so obvious, but it's
well,
you
it's
just
not.
have
It's
to
not
say
obvious,
it out loud.
Well, right, because you're convinced that it is the other person.
Yeah, and we tend
if
to.
They would just change.
And the church, Jill, also dismisses history as though it's not important.
Yeah, why are you looking backwards?
Well, but we do have an Old Testament, remember? That is the basis for us understanding the New Testament. See? And the New Testament doesn't make sense without the Old Testament.
No,
Same thing with us. Our lives have to have a historical context, and that context is the key to understanding everything today.
Very important that we don't just dismiss history or dismiss what someone else said.
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
Yeah. You're welcome. You are welcome.
If
you need some help, it's 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And one of the greatest things that we get to do at this ministry is see people transform, see marriages transform. It's a great honor and a privilege, and thanks to all of you who help us do that. Dr. Jill Hubbard, thank you for being here. Appreciate you every time. Milan, thank you for all you've done for me and Misty and everybody else. It's just amazing. And thanks to all of you who listen, watch, support, and pray.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.